Hello, and thank you for joining us on our tour today. My name is Brian Walton. I'm Assistant Dean for Business and Hospitality, one of our academic divisions here at Pennsylvania College of Technology. We focus on hands-on learning to make you be a future leader in the hospitality industry. We specifically have associate degrees in baking and pastry arts and culinary arts technology. We also have one-year certificate programs as add-ons for students that maybe want to change career paths or already have a degree and want to add this on as an additional feature. We've got a lot of opportunities with very small class sizes. So you're going to hear today from some of our chef instructors about some of those opportunities inside the class and outside the class. For any questions you might have, please let us know. Don't hesitate ever to reach out to us. We'd love to see you on campus for a face-to-face tour. And if you ever want to shadow a class and see what it's like to be a Penn College student, we would be happy to have you. Additionally, we'd encourage you to take a look at our applied management program, as we have a number of students in our culinary and baking programs that have that entrepreneurial mindset and want to run and operate their own business. So after completing your associate's degree, you could finish a bachelor's in applied management, and that second 2 years to finish out the business program can be done on campus or online.
Welcome to the Baking and Pastry Arts program at Penn College. My name is Chef Charles Niedermeyer. I've been teaching here for 15 years. Prior to that, I had 9 years of industry experience. The baking program at Penn College offers a 1-year certificate, a 3 semesters associate, or some students will take that 3 semesters and stretch it out to maybe 2 or 2.5 years. What's nice is the baking program has lots of flexibility, so we can tailor a program, speed, and length that works for you. One of the things that makes the baking program real special is we focus on the craft of baking, the science of baking. Of course, all the application, the hands-on components, but then also the business of baking. So we look at what it takes to build a new product, to start a business, to produce and sell and get that product into the customer's hands. Behind me, you'll see an advanced class, FHD 327. These students are in their 3rd semester in the baking program. So they are set up in individual stations working on products that we're actually selling to the public. All students will take classes in this lab, but baking students will have a number of classes. Culinary students will take a foundational baking class where they learn the fundamental mixing techniques, makeup, and baking applications. But then you'll also have the option to take a number of electives if you're so interested. The baking program at Penn College focuses on artisan bread production, pastry and dessert making, candy and confectionery, and of course, cake decorating. Students have the opportunity to then focus on their area of specialty in and outside of the class with the projects they work on. Additionally, we work with the top chefs at some of the top events in the country, and students can gain additional experience there as well. Examples include the Kentucky Derby, the USA Science Festival, and the National Candy Show. So what's really special about the Penn College baking program is that we're the best at being small, but we don't lack for resources, we don't lack for opportunities or network. In addition to those core baking classes I mentioned, students have the opportunity to take their general elective classes with other students on campus. So your math, your science, your English, that makes for a well-rounded, diverse education. And we know that that's critical to your development and success as a business professional. Lastly, you will have an internship. So internships are based on your career path, what you're most interested in doing. You'll have an internship advisor who will assist you in securing that internship. And it can be anywhere in the country. Even students have done internships in Europe. So please come visit us. We'd love to have you for a shadow. We'd love to have you visit us here in the classroom, and look forward to meeting you in person.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Chef Frank Sachwala. I'm an associate professor here at Pennsylvania College of Technology. I teach in areas of culinary arts, baking pastry arts, and sports event management programs. Now, as we're in the classroom today, this is a Foods 2 class, which is applications, preparation and applications, which follows our Foods 1 class, was Introduction to Cuisine and to Cooking Methods. So this group of students here has 8 weeks of preliminary study and learning classical vegetable cuts, all the 14 different cooking methods, fabrication of different types of proteins. Now, as we come in here, that's the first 8 weeks. The second 8 weeks, we actually come through, and you'll see that these students are now applying everything that they had learned in Foods 1 plus more to be able to serve the restaurant clientele, the June Chef restaurant. Now, as you can see, everybody, there's different stations, there's different equipment, all their mise en place or their food prep is in place. And what happens is we have an expediter, which is one of our lab assistants, Haley, who calls out the orders. They are responsible for everything on their stations. As you can see, a little bit of hustle and bustle, heating, sauteing, grilling. We have oven work that comes into play. And what happens is we are basically doing a lot of takeout service now. The orders are called, they're picked up, and they're either delivered or picked up by the customer. Now, as we go through this kitchen here, we can see all the activity that's going on. And when we look at the setup, mise en place is something that we stress a lot, because you could cook for 1,000 people if you have all your ingredients in one place, which this is what we try to tell them what they need to do. Now, as we come to the back of the kitchen, this is a two-sided kitchen. One of the things with our restaurant design is that we have equipment back to back that actually gives us a prep area, and then we have a final prep and service area. As we come back here, you'll see that we'll have a wood-fired oven, okay, for lots of different pizzas or flatbreads. We have convection ovens. We have a combi oven that's capable of steaming, roasting, pan frying, a lot of different cooking methods that come in, low temperature poach. We have a 60-gallon steam jacketed kettle where we can make different stocks or soups in larger quantities. And what we have is a Dutch tilting skillet where we could actually saute or actually braise in there. Now, as we come back, we stress sanitation, and we have all our students get ServSafe and HACCP certified, and you'll see that the setups as far as what we have on our sinks, cleaning, rinsing, sanitizing. It's very important. That's what we try to stress with the students. We don't want to get people sick. We have proper handling of food. We want to make sure all our equipment is clean. And not only that, but we come in, we sanitize the lab before we start. We clean everything at the end, and we sanitize it when we leave. It's one of the important competencies that we have. If we have our ServSafe and HACCP certificates, it's something that we go through and we practice ongoing for the safety of ourselves and our customers. Now, as we shoot down the line from the other side, you'll see that we have the different stations. We have classical brigade stations. We have the grill, or what we call the grill Ardennes. We have the students in the middle, our intermediates, or our vegetable and grill cooks as far as flat top grill. And then we have two chefs at the end, our saucier chefs, who will do any of our saute work, our sauce work, and they will do any of the side dishes to help out with the intermediates. Down on this end, we have our garde manger station. In garde manger, classical term, we go through is cold food prep. We have all the salads, all the greens. We have all the sides. This is all our mise en place. So what happens is we can take whatever we need, we can set it up, and boom, out the door it goes for the customer. Now, we typically have smaller classroom sizes. At present, we have 9 students in this class. Gives everybody a chance to be on any station twice with a mentor who moves off the station the second time that they're on. So this week we have Charlie and we have Alexis, and Alexis' first day on the grill. Charlie's been on the grill, this is his second day, so he's basically mentoring Alexis so she can take over on Monday and train another chef following behind in the line, which would be Alina. Alina will move over to the grill with Alexis, they'll work together, and we work in rotation. This way, everybody has somebody else that they can rely on besides myself to ask any questions about prep, plating, or any garnishes that we have. After this class, they then go into a regional kitchen, and then they go into a classical kitchen. Now, besides all this, some of the other classes that I taught are menu planning, purchasing, facilities planning classes, so there is a lecture-based component on a lot of what we do. It's not only learning how to cook, but it's learning to be an effective manager, how to manage our resources, not only with food, but with our equipment. They have to go through, they have an equipment competency checklist, which they fill out every time that they learn how to operate a new piece of equipment. and they learn how to clean it. We sign off on that so that when they go in the next lab, there's no questions. How do I turn this on, chef? How do I turn this off? How do I clean this? Everything is in there for them to learn. Now, the great thing about having the restaurant here along for the students is that we get to practice what we preach. And so as we go through, we can also practice with the restaurant, not only with lunch, we could do it with dinner, we could do different catering opportunities that we have in play. We can work with the professional staff, Chef Chris, Chef Troy, Chef Lynn, our pastry chef. So there's a lot of opportunities. Right now, some of our students do work with Lejeune Chef, and they can practice honing up on their skills. All right? Come anytime, come visit us. You can spend a day in lab, you can spend a day in lecture. You can get the overall feel for what we do. We welcome anybody who wants to come visit. Thank you very much. You have a great day.